In the dead of night, with the moon a sliver in the sky, a solitary truck rumbled down an isolated jungle road known only as Highway 666. The driver, Tom Harris, was a seasoned trucker with a reputation for braving the toughest routes. Tonight, however, the jungle seemed to whisper in ominous tones, and the dense foliage closed in around him, like the dark tendrils of a malevolent force. The night was eerily quiet, save for the occasional rustle of leaves and a low hum of the engine. Tom's truck, a weathered beast of steel and grit, cut through the gloom, its headlights barely piercing the oppressive darkness. As he navigated a particularly treacherous bend, a sudden deafening bang shattered the silence. The truck lurched violently, and Tom struggled to maintain control as the vehicle skidded to a halt. Heart pounding, he stepped out into the dense jungle, his flashlight barely making a dent in the blackness. The front tire lay in tatters, shredded by something sharp and unseen. Cursing under his breath, Tom grabbed his tools and began to change the tire. The oppressive heat and the insects buzzing around made the task unbearable, but he pressed on, determined to get back on the road. As he worked, a chilling breeze swept through the jungle, carrying with it the faintest whisper of voices. Tom glanced around, uneasy. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, their words a garbled mix of agony and rage. He tried to ignore them, focusing on the tire, but the whispers were accompanied by an unsettling presence that made his skin crawl. Suddenly, the ground beneath Tom began to tremble. The trees swayed as if pushed by an unseen force, and the temperature dropped sharply. The whispers turned into wails, and the shadows around him seemed to twist and writhe. A sickly green light began to emanate from the jungle, illuminating ghostly figures that drifted through the underbrush. Tom's breath came in short, panicked bursts as he dropped his tools and stumbled back. The ghostly apparitions took shape, souls of the damned, twisted and tortured, their faces contorted in eternal torment. Their hollow eyes locked onto him, and their spectral hands reached out, fingers stretching in desperate, grasping motions. In a frenzy, Tom scrambled back to his truck, but the spectral figures seemed to close in from every direction. The truck's engine roared to life, but the sound was swallowed by the cacophony of wails and shrieks. The truck's headlights flickered and dimmed, and the air around him crackled with malevolent energy. The ghastly apparitions were now circling the truck, their forms shifting and morphing into grotesque, nightmarish shapes. Tom could feel their cold breath on his neck, their whispers growing louder, demanding something he could not understand. Panic surged through him as he realized he was trapped, his only escape blocked by the phantoms of the jungle. With a final desperate surge of adrenaline, Tom slammed the truck into gear and floored the accelerator. The truck lurched forward, tearing through the jungle, branches slashing at its sides. The ghostly figures seemed to wail in frustration as the truck roared through their midst, the spectral hands reaching out but never quite touching him. Tom drove through the night, the jungle around him a blur of dark shadows and twisting trees. As dawn approached, the oppressive darkness lifted, and the ghostly apparitions vanished. Exhausted and shaken, Tom finally emerged from the jungle onto a paved road, the remnants of the night's terror still fresh in his mind.